I'm here on the SP404 Mark II today, although this piece of gear isn't essential at all for this video. This is just my weapon of choice for today. And I'm going to be recreating the kind of Westside Gunn sound. This seems to be doing the rounds quite a lot on YouTube at the moment, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to jump in and share my thoughts on the kind of sound of these beats as well. I really like this kind of style, the kind of old dusty drum break thing with a really simple flow to it. Just gives the space for rapping over the top. I've actually been making some beats like this on the channel recently anyway, so I thought I'd go ahead and try and get it even closer to this sound. So this is based on a track called I Know Verdy on the album Still Praying. So we're going to be using that Rhodes sound, which I've got here already. I'm going to get a dusty break in and build something off the back of this. The first thing I'm going to do is change the pitching on this. So on the SP404 Mark II, we have different ways of pitching, and basically on the default pitch, if we repitch this, it's going to change the tempo. You can see there on the screen. Now I don't want that to happen, so what I'm going to do is press and hold shift, and I'm going to change this to backing and no for vinyl no, vary. I don't know what vary stands for right now, I can't remember. Backing. Because what this is going to do is when I put it on the chromatic mode, which lets me play different notes, it's going to stretch this sample so that it doesn't get faster and slower if I play different pitches, which is really useful. And I may even go ahead and just pitch this down a bit first, actually. Let's say just like 2 down. I just love pitching stuff down. It makes it just sound extra gritty, especially useful for this style of beat making. So we'll go shift and chromatic. Something like that is going to sound pretty cool over the top of a nice dusty drum break. So we've got some ideas there already. I'm going to go ahead to my secret stash of drum breaks, and I've got one which I think is going to work really well.
6 hours later.
So I've gone ahead and imported that. Definitely spend some time looking for a break, because I think this is basically, no pun intended, make or break with these style of beats. You've got to have a really nice flowing drum loop, and it's got to sound nice and dusty as well. And we need to go ahead and chop this. So let's try and find a start point. That sounds pretty close. We're nearly there. That sounds good. So we'll truncate. And let's find an end point as well. It's going to be all the way over here somewhere. Looks like somewhere like that. Perfect, that's got it. So we've got that now, and we can chop this up so we can put it onto a pattern. There we go. So we'll come out of there and go shift and chop. That sounds pretty good. So we'll go to menu, assign to pad, and yeah, it's done the 4 pads down here. That's what I want. And we'll do enter to chop. And there we go, we can put that on a grid now. So we need to do a tap tempo to see what tempo that is at. Sounds like it's saying 84, which is a nice tempo for hip hop, so I'm happy with that. We'll come out of there, we'll go to pattern select, delete these old patterns that are in here, and I'm going to do quantize 8, strength 100%, get it all on the grid nicely, and I'm going to do 4 bars as well, pretty standard stuff. Okay, kind of a janky feel to that. Maybe I'll pitch these down a little bit just so they fit in the grid a little bit better. So we'll do just like -1. Actually probably going to add to the sound a little bit as well. Get things sounding a little bit more gritty. They're all down by -1 now. Wow, that's completely fixed that issue. So just taking it down one step with pitch and speed has filled that out into the grid so nicely, and it flows really well now. So that's cool. We've got that in. We'll make a copy, and now we can play around with this Rhodes Stab that we've got. Okay, and that's what I'm going to do for the pattern of the chords. I think it's got that kind of minory sound like the record, and that's going to work quite nicely. We need to fix the levels. We'll do that a bit later. So let's go ahead and record that onto this new pattern. We can probably keep the quantize on as well. Okay, that's sounding really good. Obviously, like I said, the levels need changing. We can sort that out a little bit now. That could be why the stab for that's really quiet. Right, that's sounding pretty good. Now, I think we need some low end, obviously. In the record, it's very simple. I think it's just kind of one note, just filling out that low end, adding a little bit of low presence, nothing that's going to get in the way of the vocals over the top. So we'll do something similar. We'll make another copy. Again, I've got another sound which I'm going to import from my bass note stash. I've been collecting these a little bit more recently, trying to work on my low end. And we'll try this note, bass deep, A sharp it says it is. I'm just going to use my ears to get it right. So we're going to match that with the Rhodes Stab. Perfect. So we had to do -4 and that matched it up. And now we can put that in chromatic mode and play the same notes that we were playing before with the Rhodes. So that sounds okay. I don't want to overdo it with the low end too much. I'm just going to see what comes out when I record this pattern, basically. I'll turn the quantize off for this. Okay, we'll turn that down a little bit. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not very good at low end, to be honest, so it was good to get some notes in there. And now we can do a little bit of magic. I'm going to add some compression. So I've got 2 compressors set up on my kind of master signal. So all I'm going to do is pop those on now. This should really glue things together and make it sound even more like a Westside Gunn kind of beat now with this. So those are on. Quite like that, and we're just going to add one more thing in from one of my packs, which is available on my website, spvids.com. All the links are in the description, and basically it's a pack with just loads and loads of noises in it that you can lay under your beats, and it just kind of adds a more kind of tape sound or a lo-fi sound. There's loads of different ones to choose from. Let me just go ahead and find this. I think it's called Noise and Static. Import a couple of these and we can play around. As you can hear, there's loads in here that you can choose from. They're really, really cool for adding that bit of texture. Okay, now these are super loud because we've got compression. I kind of like this one on 11. And then I just went ahead and added 404 vinyl sim onto all the pads as well. That gives it a bit more of a lo-fi sound. I think this has gone a little bit too lo-fi for the Westside Gunn style of things, but I still quite like it anyway. Okay, so there we have the kind of main loop. We took a dusty drum break, we took a Rhodes sample, added some noise on the top, added some effects, put it into a pattern, and I think I got pretty close to that I Know Verdy sound. So yeah, I'll leave you with this one. I hope you enjoyed the flow and the process. Hopefully you've learned something from it and you can try this as well. And if you've got any questions or comments, leave them below, and I'll see you in another video very, very soon.